Hey Year 12s! Today, we're going to look in depth at a few related visual techniques: size, people, and text within images. If you haven't already, go and watch our video on basic visual analysis, which will give you a better overview of how to approach this task. First, let's talk about size. When I say this, I don't mean how big the image is compared to the amount of text, although that can be worth analysing, but the size of things within the image. It is important to note if something within the visual is bigger or smaller than you would expect, and to analyse why the creator may have done this. Take for example this image, which is similar to what appeared in the 2010 exam. Obviously, the Earth dwarfs a pair of hands in real life, but in this image, a size reversal has taken place. This is used to demonstrate the power that humans have to change the Earth. Currently, the hands are gently cradling the Earth, but they could just as easily crush it or drop it. In turn, this leads readers to the writer's contention that humans hold immense power over a relatively fragile planet. Another example of this visual representation of a power dynamic can be seen in this image. Here, Tony Abbott is represented as significantly larger than the asylum seekers, who are unrealistically small enough to fit in a basin. It could be interpreted as showing how much power he holds over their fates, but it also says something else. Combined with the fact that he is looking down upon the frantic people with apathy, and the small size of the asylum seekers conveying vulnerability, the size difference goes to contending that Abbott is abusing his power, and thus the image forms a critique of his attitude towards asylum seekers. In this way, size can go beyond simply representing a power dynamic. Discussing this evil representation of Abbott leads us on to talking about how people are represented in language analysis visuals. Cartoons and photographs often contain representations of individuals, usually recognisable characters, such as politicians or celebrities. Some things to pay attention to are facial expressions, body language, exaggerated features, dialogue, and size. Consider how Abbott is represented in the image. We've already discussed his size, but look at his expression: disdain or apathy towards the people suffering. He is represented as drying his hands on a towel, literally wiping his hands clean of the issue. Sometimes images can contain metaphorical links like this one. On top of that, think about how you knew that it was Tony Abbott. This doesn't actually look like Abbott. His features are exaggerated. Cartoonists often do this: pick the most distinctive physical features of a person and extend that in their drawing, like Julia Gillard's nose, Tony Abbott's ears, and Kevin Rudd's glasses. This often makes that person seem foolish, furthering the cartoon's critique of them. Or sometimes it makes them look meaner and more horrible than they do in real life, like in this image. The text in the image is the last thing we need to talk about. When focusing on visuals, it can sometimes be easy to ignore that there is text within the visual itself. But many past VCE exam images have contained text, either in speech bubbles or elsewhere. Whether it is a heading, narration, dialogue, or something else, text in an image can help you to identify the subject matter, contention, and tone of the piece. In the example we've been discussing, text appears on the soap bar and hand towel. In both cases, this is not writing we would expect to see on those things, but it makes a wider comment about the image. Nope, written on the bar of soap, is both slightly humorous because of the rhyme and reminiscent of the dismissive language Abbott has used to discuss asylum seeker policies. In the context of the image, it reflects his character's attitude towards the struggling asylum seekers in the basin. Nope, he's not going to help them. The other major text reads UN Refugee Convention, an allusion to a key piece of international law that protects asylum seekers. Here, Abbott's indifference to both asylum seekers and the law is portrayed in him using such an important document as a hand towel on which to dry himself. In this way, it is not the words themselves that are persuasive, but the context in which they appear. Important words on a commonplace household thing that we use to remove dirt from our hands. On top of the examples of text we've just looked at, don't forget to pay close attention to captions attached to any images you analyse. They can often provide great clues as to what you need to be analysing, as well as having techniques within them. That's all for now. Don't forget to check out our other videos on visual techniques, specifically the general video, which walks you through an example visual. Thanks for watching and happy writing!